violence or no other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Again, with a Fox 5 exclusive, Governor Brian Kemp has signed a bill into law that will now give the GBI jurisdiction over elections investigations. Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Tom Haynes.
And I'm Christine Spiro in for Courtney Bryant tonight. The measure comes after ongoing claims of fraud in the 2020 election. Fox 5's Claire Sims spoke exclusively with the governor about his decision to sign the bill. She's live outside the state capitol with more on what this bill means. Claire?
I ain't gonna lie, man. Governor Kemp is doing his damn thing, okay? He signed the Super Gremlin crime bill into effect, which I helped him with, okay? Jen Quavius. I absolutely taught Governor Kemp how to solve the Super Gremlin issue. And now he is signing a bill that will authorize the GBI to investigate election frauds, because we know there were a lot of election fraud going on during the 2020 election, and it ended up not helping Stacey Abrams win, but that was their intention and ultimate goal, but they failed at it.
Yeah, good afternoon. Under the new law, Governor Kemp says that elections investigations will now fall under the umbrella of the GBI rather than the Secretary of State. And he says he thinks this will continue to bring integrity to Georgia's elections.
And we just felt like, this was a good policy decision.
We spoke exclusively with Governor Brian Kemp Wednesday about his decision to sign Senate Bill 441 into law. The measure mostly updates how the state shares criminal case information. But 11 pages in, lawmakers added a section giving the Georgia Bureau of Investigation the authority to look into election law violations, if they are substantial enough to change or put doubt on the outcome of an election or primary. The new law also gives the GBI power to subpoena elections records. Currently, the Secretary of State's office handles election investigations. But Kemp, who served as Secretary of State from 2010 to 2018, says those investigators also have other duties, like looking into complaints about unlicensed contractors.
They got a lot on their plate, and this will have really dedicated people at GBI that will be able to do this with a lot more resources. One of the things that we saw during the signature audit process was having the forensic folks that were the best that GBI had being able to come in and do that. So I think there's a lot of advantages to that going forward in the future.
The governor appoints the GBI director. So I asked Kemp if he had any concerns about a governor being able to pressure the GBI into investigating an election if he or she doesn't like the outcome.
Look, man, I get that. I definitely get that. That's a concern. And we all know that if the liberals had this power, they would use it in a nefarious way. But honestly, man, I got faith in Governor Kemp, and I think personally that he is doing what he can to bring back integrity to Georgia elections. Specifically, I'm not talking about anything national or anything like that, just Georgia elections specifically. He's doing what he can to bring the integrity back. And I also believe that he's doing what he can to solve the issue of super gremlins on demon time.
The GBI, there's high integrity. All I've ever told Director Reynolds and the men and women at GBI and all state law enforcement is to follow the facts and the truth and just let it take you where it may. And that's what we've done.
The new law goes into effect on July 1st. So what happens if somebody raises concerns about the May 24th primary? I'll have that part of the story all new on Fox 5 News at 6.
An Uber Eats driver says a food delivery turned very dangerous when someone fired at her car. Her child and husband were in the car when it happened. She showed us large bullet holes.
Wow. And this isn't the first time it happened. Remember, I did the story on the woman in the park whose daughter almost got shot. Oh, excuse me. And then we had the young I believe 6-month-old baby boy Grayson Matthew earlier this year, who was shot and killed by a stray bullet. So, man, it's real out here, guys.
And her 2-month-old could have been hit. Channel 2's Tom Jones is live in Clayton County. And Tom, the driver has something to say about security at the restaurant.
Yeah, she has a lot to say, Linda. Police say this was a drive-by shooting, but that Uber Eats driver says her husband saw a gunman come out of the Ice Bar Lounge and started firing. She also says when she went inside to pick up food, no one searched her. She thinks that's what put her and her family in the line of fire.
This bullet hole went in the side of my door.
There are bullet holes all throughout this Uber Eats driver's car.
And through my front seat. Through my front seat right here.
Fortunately, no bullets hit her 2-month-old daughter, who was in her car seat when a gunman opened fire just after midnight.
Look how close that was, man. That is a close call. Wow.
Daughter, who was in her car seat when a gunman opened fire just after midnight Saturday outside the Ice Bar Lounge. But this mother didn't know that.
I'm literally like this, and I'm just, looking, saying, is there blood? Is there a bullet hole? Is she okay?
She only wanted us to use her first name, Christy. The Uber Eats driver left her husband and child in their car as she went inside the bar to pick up food for delivery that night.
I thought it was going to be a quick in and out.
She soon saw people frantically running. Her husband called her and said he saw a man come out of the bar and started shooting.
He said it was like a Western movie.
That's when the bullets hit their car and almost hit her husband and child.
And I was just thinking,
That ain't no Western movie. That's Boys in the Hood.
thinking, let her be okay, let her be okay.
Clayton County Police said this was a drive-by shooting and multiple cars were hit. Christy said her husband saw the gunman come out of the club and security was lax that night. On top of that, she says Uber sent her an email chastising her for not completing the delivery.
Wow. So Shorty is shook. Car just got shot up. And she gets chastised for not completing the mission. I've been told you guys these super gremlins are messing up the bag.
Still expected you to deliver the food.
Yes.
And I reached out to Uber, and they told me that letter was an automated response. Uber also says it has reached out to the driver and offered her its support. The driver told me Uber is now, after we got involved, paying her deductible for her to get her car fixed. I reached out to the bar to try to get a response, but no one has responded. We're live in Clayton County. Tom Jones, Channel 2 Action News.
Tom, glad once you got involved, we heard a different reaction. Thank you.
Yeah.
A 10-year-old girl in the hospital tonight after she was shot while asleep in her bed. The incident unfolded in Griffin, and investigators are working to track down just who's responsible. Fox 5's Eric Perry spoke with the family. He joins us now live in Griffin. Eric, thankfully this little girl is expected to make a full recovery.
Yeah, Tom, that is the good news in all of this. That 10-year-old girl recovering at a hospital in Atlanta, expected to be okay. But Griffin police working around the clock trying to figure out who and why they would do such a thing.
I'm mad, but life goes on, she ain't dead.
This grandfather is thankful his baby girl, 10-year-old Dariana Holmes, is alive.
And I heard my daughter holler, call 911. My baby is shot.
Griffin police believe this was a drive-by shooting and Holmes was hit when she was asleep in her bed.
Well, I mean, at least it wasn't a scoot-by shooting, and I already informed you guys of what's going on in Atlanta with these scooters, so at least it wasn't a scoot-by shooting. And the young lady did not pass away, so thankfully she is going to make a full recovery.
Around 1 Tuesday morning on Quilly Street. It's just a short walk from police headquarters.
It's like anywhere from 8 to 12 bullet holes in the house.
You can see where all of those bullets went through, one right here through this window. But the one that hit the little girl is actually up there. That's where she was sleeping in her bed.
They shot her right in here. She said, Grandma, I ain't get shot in my heart.
See, that made me cry.
Wow. The fact that she was happy that she didn't get shot in her heart, man. Woo.
It's affected everyone here, and it's affected everyone in the neighborhood.
Griffin Police Public Information Officer Lori Littlejohn says they need your help finding whoever's responsible for this heartless act.
You stop and think that this child...
So Lori Littlejohn is the sheriff or the chief police, whatever you want to call it. And we got Lori Lightfoot in Chicago. Okay. I wonder if Lori Littlejohn has any relation to Lil Jon and the East Side Boys.
Child shouldn't have to worry about being in their home, asleep, thinking about going to school the next day. They shouldn't have to worry about anything like that.
As Holmes recovers in an Atlanta hospital, investigators here are working around the clock to get answers.
Our children deserve better, but our children deserve to be in their homes and feel safe.
Y'all need to quit the violence.
Yeah, and I spoke with the little girl's mother on the phone. She's in the hospital with her baby, of course, making sure she's okay. They're hoping that little girl can come home any day now, but they're working to control the bleeding that is happening. But she is, again, expected to be okay. The family has set up a way that you can help them. We put more information on that on our website, fox5atlanta.com. In Griffin, I'm Eric Perry, Fox 5 News.
That family must be so upset, Eric. Thanks.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting just took place. Excuse me, I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured, but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the super gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dog. Let's get the out of here before these niggas come back.
Whoa. Yo! Ain't that nigga J?
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
That
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass suit
That's
on.
that nigga. That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Jaquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me.
Police are looking for the person who shot and killed a teenager.
And this violence unfolded overnight at a home on Richard Road. Investigators tell us the victim is just 18 years old. And Good Day's Brooke Sonner is live at that breaking scene for us this morning. What can you tell us, Brooke?
Yeah, good morning to you, Caitlin. And we just got that information from Clayton County Police about 10 minutes ago. The only confirmation we had that this victim was 18 was from family and friends who have been talking to us all morning long. But investigators still out here on scene at this home here on Richard Road. Clayton County Police, along with investigators, still here on scene actively searching for clues. Police tell us, though, they responded to this home right around 10 o'clock last night. They say when they got here, they found the teenager lying face down on the front porch of the home with multiple gunshot wounds. And they
Clayton County, I told you guys about Clayton County, told you guys about DeKalb County. Too many super gremlins on demon time for me.
They did later confirm that he was pronounced dead at the scene here. And again, we did talk to friends of the victim's family. One of them actually lives in an apartment complex behind the home, and she says she heard screaming last night and later realized she knew the victim.
These people need to put the guns down. I mean, they have to kill him. I mean, he was a good boy, always at my door.
Wow, man. At least we getting some emotion out of the community. My thing is, these are the same sisters who asked to defund the police. These are the same sisters who asked for criminal justice reform. These are the same sisters who asked for bail reform. These are the same sisters who asked for soft on crime prosecutors and DAs. These are the same sisters who asked for soft on crime judges, okay? These are the same sisters who say, oh, my baby didn't do it. He ain't do nothing. He innocent. Da, da, da. Not her in particular, but I'm just saying in general. Okay. So it's hitting home for the sisters. Facts.
I'm going to miss him because it's like everybody loved him. Everybody was breaking down tonight. Even the kids is traumatized.
So right now, not a lot of information at all about a possible suspect in this case or what exactly led up to this shooting. But
and they won't be found. They won't be found. Telling you this, these super gremlins are super sneaky. They're killing people at random. And that's what we got going on. It's a modern day super gremlin purge.
certainly, as soon as we have more information, we'll pass it to you on air and online. That's the latest here in Clayton County. I'm Brooks Honor for Good.
Hacker Adam Anderson will be released on $25,000 bond from the Athens Clark County Jail. Anderson appeared in court this afternoon after being charged for allegedly raping a 21-year-old woman on October 29th.
Woo! So, we got UGA linebacker Adam Anderson. This is back when he initially got his bond. I was actually at the hearing. I was like right outside the courtroom while this was happening because I knew Adam Anderson. I played football with him. And he's not a guy who should have been taking WAP at the time. I knew his girlfriend. Obviously, they're not together anymore. But not a guy who should be taking WAP, man. I mean, he's freaking... I don't know, like 6'8", 230 pounds. He was the number one linebacker in the country up until this happened. And, man, it's a crazy situation. But this brother is in deep doo-doo.
Anderson attorney, they say the UGA linebacker is innocent of the charge. He will be able to finish his classes at UGA this semester. Then he will have to live at his home in Rome, Georgia.
UJ football player Adam Anderson will be allowed out of jail as he faces a rape charge and now a second accuser. The judge freed him under certain conditions like...
Woo! So we got a second accuser. And allegedly this accuser comes from Oconee County. The issue is that he is going back and forth texting these women. Like, basically, to sum up the conversation, they ask him, oh, what happened last night? And he's like... oh, whatever, da-da-da-da, if you want to go do something about it, then do. All types of goofy stuff, man. Definitely incriminated himself in the text messages alone. And at this point, man, it's OV.
Not having contact with his accusers. He will be allowed to finish this semester of school, but his attorney told the judge he likely would not continue playing football. The University of Georgia has not commented on the case.
New from overnight, a star player for the Georgia Bulldogs is in jail this morning. Adam Anderson surrendered to police in Athens last night. Channel 2's Steve Gelbach is live for us in downtown Atlanta outside his attorney's office. Steve, this is a serious sexual assault allegation.
Anderson is charged with felony rape. He turned himself into the Clark County Sheriff's Office last night. His attorney here in town said he was suspended from the football team during the investigation.
And this is a guy who probably would have been like top 10 NFL draft. And to me, it doesn't make any sense why you would be on that type of time. You know, it's wild, bro. It really is. Especially like being close to a dude and he just straight up getting on demon time. And... a sexual demon time at that. It's wild.
A 21-year-old woman claims Georgia football player Adam Anderson raped her at his home in the early hours of October 29th. A police report says she went there after a few drinks, then later woke up in bed with Anderson assaulting her. She says the act was not consensual and she was able to leave. In a statement, his attorney says Adam is innocent of the charge brought against him and intends to vigorously defend himself in court. He will seek release on bond. Once again, Adam hopes and prays that the UGA community and the public keep an open mind and afford him the presumption of innocence that the law demands. Anderson played the following day in the game against Florida, but was then suspended and did not play last weekend. UGA head coach Kirby Smart then released a statement saying, in part, "We are aware of the report and we don't comment on law enforcement matters, but I've been clear about the high standards we have for our student athletes on and off the field." Anderson, a 22-year-old senior, was leading the team in sacks. The outside linebacker was considered a probable first-round NFL draft pick next year. We did reach out to the clerk's office there in Athens, Clarke County, to expect to have his booking photo released later today, and we also could have his first appearance from jail later this morning, but for now.
So the narrative going on was, oh, he was dealing with a glider, and you know, she on some like Emmett Till type vibes, but allegedly, I can't confirm nor deny, but allegedly it was a sister who made the initial allegation, and then the girl from Oconee County is allegedly, possibly a glider.
Now, though, he's being held without bond.
Okay, and we'll have to let this play out. Thanks so much.
All right, guys, so let's get into it. I did want to read the fact that he was indicted by a grand jury. Whew! So it's pretty much a wrap. So a grand jury on Tuesday indicted a former University of Georgia player accused of taking the wop of a woman in Athens. Former UGA linebacker Adam Anderson is charged with taking wop and will return to court for an arraignment hearing in June. The charges stem from Adam's arrest in November 2021 after a 21-year-old woman accused him of taking the wop at her party on the morning of October 29, 2021. According to the incident report pertaining to the initial allegations, a woman says she went to an Athens residence on October 29th after having some drinks and woke up on a bed while Anderson was having intercourse with her. The woman told officers the intercourse was not consensual and that she was able to leave the residence. A second woman accused Anderson of assaulting her in Oconee County in an incident that allegedly happened in October 2020. He has not been charged in connection to that investigation. Anderson was suspended by Georgia while being investigated by Athens Clarke County Police for the alleged rape. Oh, damn it, I said it. He surrendered himself voluntarily and was released on a $25,000 bond. In a statement to ESPN, Adam's attorney, Steve Shadow, said that his client has not had the chance to have his defense argue in front of a jury. Adam respectfully reminds the public and his supporters that he was not permitted by law to participate in the grand jury proceeding, which is totally under the control of the prosecutions, Sadal said. This means his defense was not present on or argued to the grand jurors. Adam will plead not guilty to the charge and continue his fight in court to clear his name and reputation. Adam once again appeals to the good citizens of Athens Clarke County to keep an open mind and not prejudge his case. So it looks like the grand jury made their decision. He is going to take it to trial and plead not guilty. So hopefully he did not do it. The text messages that they had put out in the preliminary hearings are damning in a way. You know, he said way too much in those text messages. But Anderson, who had been a possible high pick in the NFL, was allowed to participate in the program's Pro Day in Clarke County. ESPN reports that the Rome, Georgia native had been training in Florida and had a workout session for multiple NFL teams in March.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.